Hey everyone, Roger here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more about anxiety and depression. This is a topic I really like to talk about because it's an experience that I had gone through, and there was a healing process in between, and I like to share my journey with others so that they can look at my story, and it will give them a little bit more hope. That there are brighter days. But I posted a photo of myself the other day, and it was me at my mother's house. And during that time, it was really, really, really hard for me. One of the most difficult times, I think, because I ended up having to make a decision to wanting to leave my house because I felt that I was a burden to my family. I felt I was responsible for all the darkness that was in my house. And I was scaring my kids. My relationship with my wife wasn't doing too well. We didn't get along at all. I mean, it was just like whenever she spoke with me, I'd yell back for no reason, and that was really difficult. So I felt that the only solution was to leave. But one of the main reasons why I actually decided to do that was, I was having a conversation with my neighbor, and I was telling him about about my triggers, and he was like, maybe your house is a trigger. And he was telling me that his brother had actually left his house when he was going through depression, and he moved into his mother's house for a while just to leave the house because the house reminded him of like bad things, that made him sad. So I was thinking to myself, maybe I'm going through the same thing too. Because when I'm walking around my house, like every single room that I went into, it didn't bring me any happiness or joy. So, that was one of the things I was thinking about, and that made me decide to finally make the decision to actually, go to my mother's place and just leave the house. I didn't know how long I was going to do that for, but I felt that it was a smart thing to do because I just felt like I was, creating too much havoc in the house, and I didn't want it to get any worse. So I packed my bags and I left and I moved into my mother's house. But when I arrived at our house, I felt, even though my mother was there, I felt even more alone because I never, left my family like that before, and it was something new to me. Not waking up in the morning and looking at my kids or seeing them or seeing anybody. And it actually, at the beginning, it made me feel worse, more alone, even smaller than before. And I didn't know if it was the right move at first. So, just being away from my kids it hurt me so much. And just being away from, looking back at how happy our family was before, and thinking about how bad it got and how much it got worse. And I was just trying to find ways to bring our family back together. So that's why I made the decision to move out. And things weren't getting better. I noticed myself pacing again on my mother's hallway, yelling, talking to myself all the time. I'd always be talking to myself. And I looked in the mirror one time, I was like, I can't believe this is me. I can't believe how a normal person can transform into this monster, and I was disgusted in myself. I hated myself even more. So I stayed there for about a month and a half. And then I finally made the decision that I'm tired of being away from my family. I need to do something right away, and the only thing that I can do to mend things back together again is making the decision to get my life back by changing it somehow. And because all my choices that I was making throughout those 2 years were all bad choices, and it wasn't my fault. It was because of my anxiety and my depression and the medication I was taking, so I had to somehow figure a way how to reverse all those thoughts, those negative thoughts, and then use that, whatever system I build, into my mindset and to transform my life back. And right when I came back home, I started taking better care of myself. You could take a look at the photo, and I read some comments and like, oh, Roger, you look so much older, and I did. You could tell when you look at that photo, that is a version of myself when I didn't love myself, I didn't take care of myself. I just, you could tell that just by my eyes. If you look into my eyes, you could see the darkness already just by looking at my eyes. And if you compare to like my photos now or the videos, you can see there's a huge difference between someone who who has forgotten about themselves, who doesn't love themselves, and who doesn't take care of themselves both mentally and physically. And compared to now, I'm much better, right? You can see it. So if you're going through a dark time, if you're experiencing anxiety for the first time, or if you have it for a while, or you're thinking you're going to hit rock bottom or something, just look at my photo. I was there before. I know how it feels. I know what it's like to be in that really crappy, excuse my language, in that situation. Because when you're in that moment, nothing seems bright. That happiness and joy that you're looking for so much, it doesn't seem like it's a possibility at all. But you have to start with yourself. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start taking care of yourself. Like, all the videos that I spoke with, and even my course, I always talk about the mind, how powerful it is, and how powerful you are to have that choice, to make that decision, to want to change your life. I did that, and great things came out of it, but it's going to take a lot of time, it's going to take a lot of effort, and you have to be really patient. And this whole experience that I went through, it taught me about patience, right? If you don't have patience, you're not going to succeed in anything. You have to be willing to wait for that moment to come, and life is going to test you every single day. Do you have the patience? Do you have the determination? Do you have the willpower to make your life better, to become the best version of yourself? So, not everyone's going to go through anxiety. Not everyone's going to go through a state of depression or even hit rock bottom. But if you are dealing it right now, you have to tell yourself that you're extremely strong to be able to go through this chapter in your life. And it's going to seem like you're not going to see the light. And I felt like that every single day. I wasn't going to see the light, but it's there for you. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for you to make that choice to change your life, so that after you go through this darkness, you're going to experience an amazing transformation, an amazing version of yourself that you thought you would never be able to feel. And it's going to change your life entirely, and your whole perspective of life is going to change with it. So don't give up, always have hope, always have faith, never lose any of that. Because if I had lost I lost it almost completely, but I had the strength to remind myself, to start believing in myself again, to always have faith, to always be hopeful for that tomorrow, because I visualized it, and I wanted to go there, and I wanted to be there. So hopefully this video will help. I'm going to be talking a lot more in my next videos and live streams about anxiety and depression, because I'm my main goal is to help as many people as I can to come out of that darkness, to live that light, and to get their happiness and joy again. So hopefully you're having a great day, and I will catch you next video. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.